Are you struggling with squatters on your property? It's a situation that no property owner wants to find themselves in. Squatters, individuals who unlawfully occupy an uninhabited property, can pose significant challenges for property owners. They can hinder your plans for the property, cause damage, and even lead to costly legal battles. But don't fret. There's a right way to handle this. It involves understanding the legalities surrounding squatters and how you can lawfully remove them from your property. This knowledge is crucial as it can save you time, money, and unnecessary stress. Over the next few minutes, we'll delve into the world of squatters' rights, landlord rights, and the legal process of removing squatters. We'll also touch on some preventive measures to keep this issue from arising in the first place. So buckle up and let's navigate this together. In this video, we will guide you through the process of legally removing squatters from your property. Before we dive into the process of removing squatters, it's important to understand what squatting is. Squatting, in its simplest definition, is the act of occupying an unused or vacant property without the owner's permission. It's a situation that can be as puzzling as it is frustrating, particularly when you realize that there are different types of squatters and that they may have rights too. Let's start with the types of squatters. First, we have the opportunistic squatter. They're the ones who move into a property temporarily, usually taking advantage of a place that's been left unoccupied for a while. They're often drifters, moving from one place to another. Then there's the strategic squatter. These individuals or groups intentionally occupy properties, often with the goal of gaining legal ownership through a concept known as adverse possession. Adverse possession may sound like something out of a law textbook, but it's a real-world concept that can have serious implications. In essence, it allows a person to gain ownership of a property if they've been occupying it openly and without the owner's consent for a certain number of years. The specifics can vary by jurisdiction, but it's something every property owner should be aware of. Now you might be thinking, how can someone just move into a property without permission and end up owning it? Well, that's where squatters' rights come into play. Despite the seemingly unfair nature of the situation, the law often protects squatters to prevent homelessness and to utilize vacant properties. Squatters can gain rights to a property if they're able to prove they've been living there for a certain period, improving the property, and paying property taxes. It's a complex issue, and it can be incredibly challenging for property owners. But understanding squatting is the first step towards tackling it. Now that we understand what squatting is, let's move on to how you can legally remove squatters from your property. As a landlord, you have rights when it comes to dealing with squatters. In the realm of property management, squatters can often present a unique challenge. However, understanding your rights as a landlord can equip you with the necessary tools to navigate this issue effectively. You hold the title to your property, and this gives you the legal authority to decide who occupies it and under what terms. If someone is occupying your property without your permission, they are infringing upon your rights. Now let's delve a bit deeper into these rights. Firstly, you have the right to ask the squatter to leave your property. It may seem simple, but it's a crucial step. If they comply, you've resolved the issue without legal intervention. However, if they refuse, this leads us to your second right, the right to legal recourse. You have the right to file for an eviction notice from the court. This is a legal document that formally requests the squatter to vacate your property. If they still refuse to leave, the court can intervene and enforce the eviction. Another important right you have as a landlord is the right to recover damages. If the squatter has caused any damage to your property, you have the right to seek compensation. This might include repair costs or loss of potential income you could have earned from renting the property. Remember, these rights are not just privileges, they are legal entitlements designed to protect your interests as a property owner. But like any other rights, they come with responsibilities. It's essential to act within the confines of the law and not to take matters into your own hands, like forcibly removing squatters, which can lead to legal repercussions. It's important to know your rights to effectively deal with squatters. Next, we will talk about the initial steps to take when you discover squatters on your property. Discovering squatters on your property can be stressful, but the first steps you take are crucial. Now, let's talk about what to do when you first discover that squatters have taken up residence on your property. The very first move you should make is to contact your local law enforcement. This isn't about getting the squatters arrested per se, but rather about establishing a record of the situation. Make sure to provide as much detail as you can about when and how you discovered the squatters. This record will be invaluable as you move forward with the removal process. Next, it's time to gather evidence. Start by documenting the condition of your property. Snap photos or take a video walkthrough if you can. This will help illustrate the extent of the squatting problem. If you have any previous pictures or videos of the property before the squatters moved in, keep those handy as well. They will serve as a before and after comparison, which can be useful in demonstrating the damages caused by the squatters. Also, try to gather any possible evidence that can help prove your ownership of the property. This can include property deeds, mortgage documents, or any other legal paperwork that links you to the property. Remember, the burden of proof will be on you, so it's important to have all your ducks in a row. In addition, you should also reach out to any neighbors or other potential witnesses. They may have seen the squatters enter the property or can provide additional information about their activities. Their testimonies could prove to be a valuable asset in your case. Lastly, consult with a legal professional. They can guide you through the legal maze that is squatting law and help ensure that you're taking the right steps. Their expertise will be invaluable in navigating this complex situation. Once you have taken these initial steps, you can begin the legal process to remove the squatters. But remember, each case is unique, and it's crucial to approach this with patience and diligence. The road to reclaiming your property may be long, but with the right steps, you can ensure the journey is as smooth as possible. The legal process to remove squatters can be complex, but we will guide you through it step by step. It's important to remember that dealing with squatters is not a do-it-yourself project. You need to follow the legal process to protect your rights and avoid potential legal pitfalls. The first step in the legal process is to file a legal complaint. This is often referred to as an unlawful detainer lawsuit. You are essentially asking the court to determine who has the legal right to occupy the property. It's important to have a lawyer involved in this process to ensure that the complaint is filed correctly. A single error can delay the process and give the squatters more time in your property. After you've filed the complaint, the next step is to serve notice. This means delivering a copy of the complaint and a summons to the squatters. The summons informs them that they are being sued and have a certain amount of time to respond. In many jurisdictions, this time period is usually around 20 to 30 days. Serving notice can be tricky, especially if the squatters are avoiding you. You might need to hire a professional process server to ensure the notice is delivered. If you can't locate the squatters, you may be able to serve notice by posting or by publication and mailing it to the last known address. Once the squatters have been served, they have the opportunity to respond to the complaint. If they fail to do so, you can ask the court for a default judgment, which means the court agrees with your claim without hearing the squatter's side. However, if the squatters do respond, the case will proceed to court. In court, you'll need to prove that the squatters are unlawfully occupying your property. This could involve presenting evidence such as a deed to the property, lease agreements, or witness testimony. It's important to prepare thoroughly for this court hearing. You need to present your case convincingly to evict the squatters. This is another area where having a lawyer can be extremely beneficial. They can help you gather evidence, prepare your arguments, and present your case in the most effective way. When the court rules in your favor, the squatters are ordered to leave the property. You can file the order of possession with the sheriff. This allows the sheriff to physically remove the squatters from your property. This process might seem long and arduous, but it's crucial to follow it to the letter. Taking matters into your own hands can lead to legal trouble and even more headaches. Understanding the legal process is key to removing squatters from your property. But what can you do to prevent squatting? Preventing squatting is always better than dealing with it after it has happened. This maxim rings true for all landlords. It's crucial to adopt proactive measures to circumvent such unwelcome situations. Let's delve into some tips that could help prevent squatting. First and foremost, secure your property. This goes beyond just locking doors and windows. Consider installing security systems, alarms, or even security cameras. These measures not only deter squatters, but also provide evidence if someone does trespass. Another effective measure is conducting regular inspections. If you own multiple properties, it's easy to overlook the less frequently occupied ones. However, these are often prime targets for squatters. Regular inspections signal that the property isn't abandoned and is under active supervision. Plus, it gives you the chance to spot any early signs of unauthorized occupancy. Now let's talk about vacant properties. It's not uncommon for properties to remain vacant for extended periods, perhaps due to renovations or while in between tenants. In these instances, it's vital to act swiftly. Consider hiring a property manager or engaging a security company to keep an eye on the property. Alternatively, you could even think about temporary rentals to ensure the property isn't left unattended for too long. Remember, communication is key. Inform your neighbors about your property status. They can be your eyes and ears on the ground, alerting you to any suspicious activities. Finally, keep your property well maintained. A property that appears neglected or abandoned is a green light for potential squatters. Regular upkeep not only enhances your property's value, but also sends a clear message that it's under attentive ownership. In conclusion, prevention is a powerful tool in a landlord's arsenal against squatting. It might require some investment of time and resources, but it's a far better option than dealing with the aftermath of a squatting scenario. By taking these preventative measures, you can greatly reduce the chances of squatters taking over your property. So why wait? Start implementing these strategies today and protect your property from the clutches of squatters. Let's recap what we have discussed today. We kicked off this conversation with a comprehensive understanding of squatting. We learned that squatting is not just an isolated incident, but a widespread issue that could happen to anyone, anywhere. It's when individuals unlawfully occupy a property without the owner's consent. Next, we delved into the rights you hold as a property owner. It's crucial to know that the law is on your side and recognizes your rights to your property. You have the right to demand vacating your property, and you can take legal action if your request is ignored. From there, we move to the initial steps you should take when faced with squatters. It's always best to start with a polite but firm request for the squatters to leave. If that doesn't work, you should notify the local authorities and document every interaction. We then explored the legal process to remove squatters. We discovered that the process might seem daunting, but it's necessary to regain control over your property. You'll likely need to file an unlawful detainer lawsuit, which may take months. But remember, patience is key here. We also discussed how to deal with stubborn squatters who refuse to leave. It's important to never resort to self-help eviction methods such as changing the locks or shutting off utilities. Instead, you should always seek legal assistance to avoid violating any laws. Lastly, we emphasized that prevention is always better than cure. Regularly inspecting your property, keeping it well maintained, and vetting potential tenants thoroughly are effective ways to prevent squatting. By following these steps and understanding your rights, you can effectively and legally deal with squatters on your property. Remember, knowledge is power when it comes to protecting your property. Still feeling overwhelmed with all these details about dealing with squatters? Or perhaps you simply don't have the time or energy to manage your property and potential squatters. If you're a landlord in Cook County, Illinois, you might want to consider engaging professional property management services such as those offered by Three Pinnacles PLLC. Professional property management can take a huge weight off your shoulders. They handle everything from tenant screening, rent collection, property maintenance to dealing with squatting issues so you don't have to. They are equipped with extensive knowledge and experience in handling these situations legally and efficiently. Three Pinnacles PLLC offers a range of services that can be tailored to your needs. They provide comprehensive property management solutions, including regular property inspections, thorough tenant vetting, and robust legal support in case of squatting issues. They understand the importance of your investment and are committed to protecting it from potential threats. With Three Pinnacles PLLC, you can rest easy knowing your property is in good hands. They handle the day-to-day hassles so you can focus on what matters most to you. Remember, your peace of mind is worth the investment. Stay tuned for our next video where we'll delve deeper into the benefits of professional property management. Thank you for watching, and remember, protecting your property shouldn't be a chore but a priority.